What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Friday, March 20th, 2026, and we are here at the Kaagbaan, where it is a bit windy and the sun is also starting to shine. A day of arrivals. Hopefully the audio is not too bad. As I was setting up, for some reason it turned out that the receiver microphone, the receiver of my voiceover microphone had an empty battery, which is weird because I did charge them yesterday. So I had to troubleshoot, and in the end opted for going with the DJI mic that I used before. Since it is a different plug for the microphone itself, I'm using the transmitter of the DJI mic with a furry on it attached to my chest. I hope that the voiceover audio is good. If not, well, hopefully tomorrow things will get better again. I'll make sure that the battery is charged. I'm not sure what happened there. Either way, just in time. Orange Pride now, number 2 for arrival. That's the one in the background. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who has joined. Maria, goedenavond. And welcome to the rest. Bimmer Frits, Jan, Leo, AMS Spotter, Dave, M. Eisten, Pete, what up mate? Bobbers, good morning. Ramon, Ricardo, goedemorgen. Michael Vogel, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Ronald, goedemorgen kerel. Air Arabia Morocco, up first, arriving from Nador in Morocco, which is in the north of Wouter, goedemorgen. Didinho, goedemorgen. Martin, goedemorgen. Welcome one and all. Hope the voiceover is decently audible without too much rumble. The wind rumble is because it is blowing a bit harder than yesterday, significantly so. Actually, maybe would have been better off taking the blimp with me with 40 knots of wind. For some reason, I figured it was not going to be that windy. Michael Vogel is celebrating 8 months of membership. 8 maandjes, boy, we gaan gewoon door. It's Dutch for 8 months, boy, and we just plow on, we just continue. Michael, dankjewel voor je ondersteuning. Thanks for the kind words. Dankjewel, and congratulations on 8 months, mate. Hope the 8 months have been to your liking. If that's not the case, do let me know what you think should be improved, and I'll see what I can do to make things better for you and the other members. Hey, Wouter Bot is celebrating 8 months as well. We gaan gewoon door, net als Michael. Indeed, Wouter. Mate, thank you so much for your ongoing support as well. It's always a pleasure to have you lads in the chat. And I hope you keep coming back for a long time to come. If not as members, then at least as regular recurring visitors. If anything in the lounge can be improved, let me know. This is the Orange Pride, KLM Flight 592, arriving from Johannesburg, and that is in South Africa. Hey Jolanda, goedemorgen. Joey, goedemorgen. Danny, goedemorgen. Gilberto, good morning. Michael, good morning. Orange Pride, PHBVA. Ten hours, 46 minutes this journey has lasted. Going full circle, we've seen it take off yesterday. We see it land today. Now I'm standing a bit closer to the runway for the arrivals, and that pile of dirt is in the way. From this angle it is still in the way, although visibility right of it is better than it was before. Orange Sprite in the pocket. What else is underway? Well, if I'm not mistaken, there should also be a 747 not too far away. Let's have a quick look on Flight Radar, see what is in store. Yeah, the next 747 is not too far away. Singapore Airlines is over the Gulf of Yorkshire, midway approximately, arriving from LAX. Should be here 10:10. And almost in German airspace. Cathay Pacific arriving from Hong Kong. 10:40 is its ETA. Transavia Retro is underway to Fuerteventura, so that still has 2 hours of flying or so to do. Won't be here before the end of the stream. Atlas is underway shortly after noon. Yeah, and as you guys can see, it is pretty windy in the direction of the runway heading, more or less. Yes, I'm human, or at least I pretend to be. It is KVK still, but it's windy, 9 degrees C. So, current status quo. Hey Taco, goedemorgen. Biebe de Bas, goedemorgen. Marjan, goedemorgen. Even 80, guten morgen. Welcome to the show, guys. Houdini, good morning. Hey Jackie, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Piet, goedemorgen. Tuning in from sunny Meppel. The sun is shining, the wind is blowing, and the airplanes are landing. So I'm working with my old DJI mic directly attached to my chest because one of the batteries of my Sennheiser set was empty for some reason. Not only will I sound a bit differently, but maybe the audio is also a bit louder or too soft. If the voiceover needs tinkering, let me know. Hadi Marijke, goedemorgen. Fern Sebastian, guten morgen. Wilma, goedemorgen. Lucas, goedemorgen. Arcana, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. 3 airplane glide slope shot. Visibility is good. Are there even more to see? Yeah, no. No. Not yet. This airplane is furthest away. Looks like it is an A380, right? Is that so? Yep, Delta Airlines Flight 136. And at its 1 o'clock is Air Dolomiti, arriving from Frankfurt. And meanwhile here we have EasyJet. Jiro, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Guten Morgen. Zikosar, good morning. I am Ayal, good morning. Voiceover volume is good. There's some artificating on your voice occasionally, but it's not too bad. I'm not sure what it is, mate. It's I'm not able to use my my lavalier microphone because it has a screw, and because of that, it cannot penetrate the transmitter of the DJI mic sufficiently. I have to use the transmitter with a furry attached to my chest, just like how I use it for Captain Jerry. It's a system that transmits over Bluetooth. Now I am standing with my back towards my computer where the receiver is, and that can lead to some artifact artifacts in the sound. That's why I upgraded to the Sennheiser, which is UHF, and those sound waves can go around the human body. So whenever I am standing a bit more directed towards... Hey, is this a new livery, by the way? So right now the transmitter and receiver are in direct line. That should make for a better voice over audio. Yeah, it's one of the limitations, which is why I upgraded. Should be good again tomorrow because if all is well, the battery is intact. I don't know why, because yesterday I always charge my batteries once when I get home, and when I took them out the charger yesterday, both the receiver and transmitter battery were indicating to be full. So I'm suspecting maybe it has turned on in the meantime. And it might have drained overnight. We'll double check. So normally I would use my lavalier microphone and attach it to one of these transmitters, but the receiver for the transmitter I just showed you is almost empty, 10%. I did try to charge it with USB-C, but that went so slowly. Would give me 45 minutes of juice, so that's not enough, unfortunately. Delta Airlines 136 arriving from Detroit, A330. At least we have backup microphones and the show can continue. In the meantime, 6 new members, 5 received a gifted membership from Klaas Reiners just now, who came in the chat with a bang. Good morning, Klaas. And mate, thank you so much for your stupendous generosity so early on in the stream already. And Jens Henning became a member himself for the first time. A warm welcome, Jens, to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you for your vote of confidence. You now have access to our 34 custom emojis, just like the 5 recipients of Klaas's gifted memberships. Don't forget to use those. Have fun with them. They're there to be had fun with, so make sure that you use them. Get creative with them. The more inappropriately you can use the custom emojis, the more fun it gets. Jens, a warm welcome once again, and thank you so much for your generosity. Klaas. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody else who has joined. Stefan, good morning. Ghastly Guy, good morning. We have Russell over here. And we have the first 767 of the show, United, arriving from Chicago. 767 300 Aditina, goedemorgen. Stranger, goedemorgen. Roger V, good morning. Stephen, good morning. Chocolate donut for lounge donation. Mate, thank you so much. For those of you who aren't on a diet, chocolate donuts courtesy of Stephen, aka Just Play Nuts, aka JPN. Bird control over here. And Harry Heron, for a brief moment, sat down, but flew off again. I'm wondering if this was the same 767 that we saw leaving for Chicago yesterday. Could be, could well be. QJ, good morning, goedemorgen. Hey, that's something nice to look forward to. Flores, aka Anaconda, says can't wait for a Saturday or Sunday Pueblo bound stream soon. Then I will join somewhere in the near future. Looking forward to that, mate. Yeah, the weather seems to be good enough for 2 streams tomorrow and on Sunday. I'll choose to go to Kaagbaan one of the days and once to the Polderbaan. Let's see. This is the departure day for the A340. So tomorrow it should be returning again. Depending on the time, might be a good idea to go back here because the wind will not change significantly. So I'm expecting Kaagbaan for arrivals tomorrow as well. Maybe go back to the Polderbaan then for Sunday. Or, well, let's see. Marchola, good morning. Tuning in from the north of Noord-Holland, Den Helder. En bevroren patat, goedemorgen. Tuning in from Jakarta. So good afternoon to you then. Arcana Morse, good morning. Al Mustafa says 747 third plane. Thanks for the heads up, mate. Thank you so much for the heads up. SAS flight 1553 visible over there, and the 747 approaching from the left. Well, from the right for us, from the west. Good morning, Ryan. Guy, good morning. Ah, so that was your order that I saw. Each time some of you guys order merch in the merch store, I receive a notification, and I did receive notification this morning. You've revealed yourself, Flores. Thank you so much, though. The merch store, a forgotten child, not as active anymore as in the beginning, but that's okay. The whole channel is a bit has fallen away a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment. Well, have we been waiting for this? Of course we have. Singapore Airlines cargo arrival from LAX flight 7319, a Boeing 747-400, the first of 3, if I am not mistaken. 9 hours and 57 minutes on the way. 22 years old, first flight February 2004. Mr. Singleton also back. Good to see you, John. Perfect timing, just in time. First Queen coming in. Wind today is blowing from the northwest, more or less in the direction of the runway heading. So, as you can see, the airplanes aren't crabbing as much as, for instance, they would with Polderbaan and southwesterly wind. The crosswind component is much less today for this runway than it normally is with southwesterly wind on the Polderbaan. Pete also back in time for the 747. Have a look, glide slope formation in the background. Turkish is number 2, already lined up on the runway heading. And the airplane turning in the background, that's Delta Airlines Flight 90, arriving from Orlando, Florida. What a sight to behold. Werner, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen und Grüße zurück nach Jever. Postma, goedemorgen, good to see you again, mate. Have a look. Alright, well, how will Queen numero uno do? Will she get loud? Will she graciously land or will she smack down? Oh, graciously. Nice. Any chance of spilling up the reversers? Don't think so. Not today. What a lovely landing that was. 2 more queens expected in the upcoming hours, at or before noon. And, well, 3 wide bodies on the glide slope already. Hamad, goedemorgen. RDW, goedemorgen. Me, myself, goedemorgen. Hey, General is also back. Good to see you, mate. Perfect timing. T-Bolt, guten Morgen. Right, Turkish Airlines flight 1951 will be next. Her Majesty is turning towards the cargo apron, which is right there. Turkish flight 1951 is a passenger airplane, so that's not going to follow suit, but it is going to land pretty soon. So let's turn around quickly, have a look at Turkish flight 1951. And there are the other wide bodies on the glide slope. Turkish flight 1951 is arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. As always, it's an A330, 2 hours 51 minutes. The flight time, that's a bit less than on average. Usually it's around 3 hours. It's a 12-year-old machine. First flight, October 2013. Oh, and a long distance Queenie headshot. Nice. Hello there, Your Majesty. How are you doing? Hadi René, goedemorgen. Patrick, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. Pyrofreak, goedemorgen. Guten Morgen. Und Dankeschön für deine Wörter. Wieder toller Stream. Messman, sir, good morning. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The first queen has already landed, as has the Orange Pride. 2 more queens are expected. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Don't forget to leave a like if you are having fun. This is Delta Airlines at 90, arriving from Orlando, Florida. Nice wheelie. And reversers. The stomper of nests has a nest of his own over there. Stomping on it to double check and doing some acrobatics as well. Oh man. Maybe I should make a thumbnail out of that. Good doing ballet. Have a look. He was graciously holding his leg backwards a moment ago. I am YOD, good morning. And good morning to all others. Big picture overview for those of you wondering what things look like over here. It's nebulous. A lot of contrail remnants visible. So if anything interesting passes by, let me know. And this was KLM Flight 696, returning from Toronto in Canada, an A330-300. Small narrow body to cleanse the palate. After this, KLM Flight 978 arriving from London City, and then back to back two more wide bodies from KLM. Hey Mr. Mika, good morning. Sander, goedemorgen kerel, good to see ya. Mr. Clark, good morning James, tuning in from Glasgow. Welcome one and all. Paprika Gamers, good morning. So yeah, have a look with me at the cargo apron. There's an Emirates over there with the new tail, the new ribbon tail, which is also a custom emoji for members. Nippon Cargo is there. A Chinese and a Qatari triple. Aquatic birds, quite a few of them, coots, but also the duckies. Don't think I've seen Gary Grebe here just yet, but that's not to say he's not here. The wind and the temperature make my nose runny. Another beautiful 3 airplane glide slope shot. KLM Flight 978 arriving from London City here in the foreground. Behind it, KLM Flight 598 arriving from Cape Town in South Africa. And the leftmost airplane is KLM Flight 758 arriving from Panama City. That's geographically not too far away from Ecuador. And there should be more in the background somewhere. Delta Airlines Flight 74 is also approaching. First up, KLM Flight 978 arriving from London City. You might be wondering, London? Yes, London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary f***ing Poppins, London.
Little wobbly. And there you go. Hey, good morning, Jeff. What is up, mate? Lovely to see you again. And the cones are still watching. They're still there. They're not going anywhere. Not until the sand has disappeared, or whatever it is that is making that mound. Right, let's see. This is KLM Flight 598, arriving from Cape Town, 7879 Dreamliner. Look at the wingtips, and they'll deflex once those spoilers get up. Boom! See the drop. Hadi Halm, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Pierre, good morning. Mara Naomi, good morning. And Chris, tuning in from Wellington, New Zealand. Good evening to you. Morning for us, evening for you. More Kiwis in the house, representing Down Under together with the Aussies. Jeremy does things. Good morning. So yeah, voiceover might sound a bit different than you have gotten used to lately. That's because one of the batteries of my Sennheiser wireless transmitter system ran out, one of the receiver. Tried charging it, but that went so slowly that I had to resort to my backup option, which is the DJI mic that I always used. I did use it with a lavalier microphone attached to the transmitter, but that doesn't fit. The Sennheiser has a screw on it, and that makes it not fit entirely in the DJI. So I'm using the transmitter of the DJI mic directly with a furry on it, attached to the chest. Should be back to the normal audio again tomorrow. That was KLM flight 758 passing by, returning from Panama City. Good morning, suck my cock. I see what you did there. Good morning, Milford. Mr. and Mrs. A, good morning. Tuning in from foggy Persenchester. What? Yesterday you guys had clouds. Now it's foggy. Well, I think they also warned for fogginess in the morning tomorrow here in the Netherlands as well. So I hope it's not going to be too severe. Delta Airlines Flight 74 up next, ladies and gentlemen. We've yet to see the first A350 of Delta this year. It's all been A330, 300s and Neos thus far. This one is a Neo, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 7 hours, 49 minutes the flight time. November 410 Delta Zulu is the registration. It's 4 years old. First flight was in April 2021. Next after this, 2 narrow bodies. Ooh, buttery. How floaty. Oh yeah, that's control, mates. Paprika Gamers asks, do you like Cessna planes? They're not none in particular, but that doesn't say I don't dislike them. I'm a bit indifferent about Cessnas. I do like the biz jets more than the single engine piston, the ones that are so old and everybody who got their PPL has learned to fly it. I do like their biz jets, the citations and whatnot. They look sleek. C-17 Globemaster above now, going to the northwest. Oh yeah. Thank you, Leader Rob. I think this must be it. I think that's it, alright. Yeah. That's one of those fat bastards. It's a bit hazy, as you can see. Normally the contrast would have been a bit higher. Of course, missing out on the SAS Retro. We saw it yesterday as well. Retros Fest yesterday. 3 no less. Aer Lingus, SAS, and of course the Cathay Cargo 7478. Anton, goedemorgen. Anton writes in Dutch, "Hi, I'm new here and am watching with enjoyment." Happy to hear that, Anton. Nice of you to say hi. If you are new to the channel or not, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching and together they know quite a lot. So feel free to shoot any questions that you might be having. Marcel, goedemorgen. Next airplane, KLM flight 1402, arriving from Paris, Paris, Charles de Gaulle, 737-800. And for that, KLM flight 749, arriving from Cartagena, that's in Colombia. Chris Good, on guard, guarding his nest. Hey buddy, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. 330, ein Dritto. Long time no see indeed. Herzlich willkommen, mate. Good to see you again. Hope you've been well in the meantime. Hadi Gerrit, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Fanblade, goedemorgen. Fanblade says, Cathay 747 assigned to the Kaagbaan. As expected. As expected. Well. And a nice glide slope shot here as well. Check it out. Visibility, despite the haziness higher up, is actually quite good here, as you can see. KLM flight 749, arriving from Cartagena. That's in Colombia. That's a country right next to reversers. What? Newbie pilot probably. That's not supposed to happen. What are they doing? Huh. 32060, good morning. Lost since 76, good morning. Any Garuda Indonesia underway? That's a good question. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Couple of geese getting out of there. Next up, Tarom flight 361, arriving from Bucharest. KLM Malta behind it. And Croatia Airlines behind it. So that's a 737-800, an A320neo and an A220-100 respectively. Hadi Joop, goedemorgen. Janus, goedemorgen, good morning. Waarom Tarom? Tarom is geen reden. Als je van de trappen valt, ben je gauw beneden. It's a rhyme. Makes absolutely no sense. Why? That's why. Waarom Tarom? Queens are coming. Queens are going. Nippon Cargo will be leaving. Has just been pushed back. Next airplane coming this way to land is approaching from behind. KLM Malta, flight 394. Arriving from Malta. W, good morning. Chili Willy, good morning. Max Fr, good morning. Adrie, good morning. Goedemorgen. Jeffrey, goedemorgen. Good morning. As the Queen is getting pushed back, KLM Malta is approaching. Fidel Castro, also back. Fidel Castro butt shot. Next arrival, Croatia Airlines flight 450, arriving from Zagreb. Bombardier C-Series 100, aka an A220. And a familiar sounding whistle. You should recognize that from whenever an E2 Embraer from KLM passes by, because that sounds the same. Both types are equipped with geared turbofan engines, and it seems to be the whistle is a particular sound for geared turbofan engines of that, at least of that family of engines. Meanwhile, Air Oink Oink is on the downwind leg. Pegasus, the A321neo over there. Should be landing soon, but not before a couple of narrow bodies will have landed here. 3 airplanes on the glide slope. Air Arabia Morocco flight 127 here in the foreground, arriving from Tangier, and that's of course also in Morocco in the north of. Hey Axel, goedemorgen kerel, good to see ya. So yeah, one Boeing 747, Singapore Airlines cargo already landed here, arriving from LAX. The Orange Pride landed here as well. 2 more 747s are on the way, the first of which will land here pretty soon. The slats are set, as you can see, on the leading edge of the wing. Not sure if they already did the controls check, but it's getting close to the moment of requesting taxi clearance. Question is, when will it traverse the runway? Because, they're doing the controls check right now. That's the rudder, that's usually the last part, so they'll ask taxi clearance in a moment. But yeah, there's still a heap of small airplanes approaching. Nippon will have to wait probably to cross the runway. Transavia up next, flight 94. I didn't even know they had a flight number like that. It's arriving from Stuttgart, and I'm wondering, is this a relocation flight? Could that be? I'm thinking this is not a regular scheduled flight, but more rather relocation or something. Time for another KLM arriving from London City. The last one we saw was in the beginning of the show. This is the second KLM already. Or, yeah, it's... This is KLM Flight 980, Embraer 190, obviously, arriving from London City. Behind it, EasyJet arriving from Stansted. That's an A320neo. And there's your gap for the Nippon 747 to cross the runway. After that, a gap before Pegasus is going to land here. Pretty sure the Nippon 747 will cross the runway after EasyJet has landed and before Pegasus will. She's already waiting. Or is she going? She's not going yet, is she? Nah, she's waiting. The next arriving 747 also having become visible. There it is. That's the Cathay Cargo arriving from Hong Kong. Coming this way. Right, EasyJet. And after that, a little gap before Pegasus is going to land. Airline going Pegasus. And Nippon is going to cross the runway probably after this landing. Yes, cue the music. And thank you, Maria, for the heads up. A380 to center, nice. We can see that fat bastard in a few moments right from behind. Nice butt shot then for the A380. And this is a departure from Polderbaan. Pegasus over there. And more traffic behind 2 EasyJets. Here's Air Oink, the A321neo arriving from Istanbul. Flight 1251. 3 hours exactly underway. Nominal flight duration. Air Oink, Pegasus, flypigs.com. It's JG, good morning. Martin, good morning, mate. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. It seems that Emirates is also getting pushed back. A lot of stuff happening here. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. One 747 already landed. The next one is flying base and should be landing here in minutes from now. The Orange Pride also landed earlier in the show. Absolutely lovely. Erik, goedemorgen. Audrey, good morning. Welcome to the show, one and all. Now, look away if you are Luton intolerant. The next airplane might give you the cramps, but here it is. It's EasyJet arrived from London Luton. There's our Emirates. Hey, Mike Wild, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Perfect timing. Second queen of the show, or at least I should say the second queen to be landing here. No, it's the Cathay Pacific. No, the Singapore Airlines A350. Flight 323. Singapore, having taken off already. EasyJet over there, and there's the next queen. Gear already extended. Cathay Cargo, flight 3029 7478, arriving from Hong Kong. 13 hours and 6 minutes underway already, ladies and gentlemen. More than half a day. The airplane is 13 years old. First flight October 2012. It's the Bravo Lima Juliet. Another airplane that has turned in quite far behind it, in the vicinity of Wassenaar no less. That's KLM flight 1918 arriving from Zurich. There should be another one turning in a bit closer by, from the left for us. And that should be Norwegian. So the airplane at the 10-ish o'clock of the 747 is actually the number 3. Howdy Daniel, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Kaagbaan, Runway 0624. There's the number 2 on the left, turning in, Norwegian. Right. Cathay Cargo 7478. It's 13 years old already. How loud will she get? The Singapore Airlines Cargo 747 that landed here this morning was really graciously dropping the landing gear. From Cathay, we've seen different things. Oh no, this is nice. This is controlled. Well done. The A321 is on the downwind and also coming this way. Emirates is on the move. Should also be looking to cross the runway at some point. Does look like there's a bit of a gap between KLM 1918 and Vueling. So if I had to guess, I'd say they'll probably cross the runway then, after Norwegian and KLM will have landed. Emirates Cargo sporting the new ribbon tail, which is a custom emoji for our members. Miniature 747 creeping up behind the Emirates. Good morning, Mervin. Good to see you again, mate. Mali, goedemorgen. Good morning. Sander says Nippon took off from center. There it is. NCA. Right, I think after this airplane has landed, there will be a gap for the Emirates to be crossing the runway. Let's see. Or will they? Come to think of it, now that I see the spatial separation between Vueling and the KLM 777 behind it, I'm not too sure anymore. We'll see. Nice KLM 737-700 without a carrying cabin. Yep, we have movement. Right, let's see if we can spot the A380 taking off from center. Apparently already rolling. It should become visible then between the building and the advertising sign on the left. There it is. And you can see it's a crosswind departure. It's drifting and crabbing a little bit on its way out. Wow. From here it almost looks like an A340 with the climb rate seemingly very slow, but it's not that bad. It's not great either, but right, Emirates on its way back to Dubai, flight 146. KLM triple time. KLM flight 644 arriving from New York, JFK. Our next arrival here on Kaagbaan. I always keep saying Polderbaan when I'm at the Kaagbaan, and I keep saying Kaagbaan when I'm at the Polderbaan. 6 hours and 28 minutes on the way. Almost as long as the Emirates A380 normally would take to get here from Dubai. 22-year-old airplane already, the PHBQB. A380 meanwhile has reached a bit more altitude. Can almost still read the registration. Yeah, top end optical zoom would be around here. Roughly 600mm full frame equivalent. This is where the airplane is now at. And a nice combo shot of Emirates with Emirates. ITA up next, first of the show. A321neo, here it is. What a looker. Flight 108 arriving from Rome. 2 hours precisely on the way. Irish registered because, well, you know, tax. It's the EHXA Hotel X-Ray Alpha, 2 years old, first flight October 2023. And after that, Transavia arriving from Pisa. Could go for a slice of pizza. Cool. So yeah, for those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we're here at Kaagbaan, Runway 06. This morning we already saw 2 747s landing here on this runway, as well as the KLM BVA Orange Pride. There is another 747 on the way. That should be here around noon if I recall correctly. Niels, goedemorgen. And Sander, see you later, mate. Enjoy the day. Going out with the camera. Hey, and Lance is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Mr. Cole, back. You probably were here already, weren't you? Next up, Transavia, arrival from Pisa. Flight 5426. And you're absolutely right, class. Think of the diet. Already had one cheat meal when Captain Jerry was here. Obviously, next week we'll also have a cheat meal. Stay the course, stick on the diet. Andy, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching windy Schiphol Airport. In hindsight, I should have double checked to see what the wind was going to do. Hope that the wind rumble isn't too severe. On double-digit wind speed days, I normally bring the blimp, but I somehow figured it wasn't going to be windy today, and that's why it and it was. Lucas asks, why aren't you standing at the departures? There's always somebody. When I'm filming the arrivals, people complain, why aren't you at the departures? When I'm filming departures, they're complaining, why aren't you at arrivals? It's to switch things up. Next up, KLM Flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow. You might be wondering, London? Yes, London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
It's an A321neo EasyJet. Next after that, an A320neo, and then another KLM A321neo. If you like neos, stay seated. Three neos in a row. Ho ho ho. Oh, another pushback just initiated. There's a Chinese. What is it? Is that the tail of a triple or is... No, I see a winglet. It's an A330. A330 in the process of getting pushed back, and Harry Heron over there also watching us. Mervyn says, get a split personality, boy, and be at both. I'm sometimes even struggling to be at one. You need mitosis. It is a lovely process. Right, the third of the three consecutive Neos is going to be landing here next. The KLM A321neo arriving from Paris. On the glide slope behind it, Transavia arriving from Innsbruck. That's now number 2, and number 3 is KLM Flight 636. That's arriving from Las Vegas. That is a 787-10. Hey, Scholar J is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Nice Karen cabin in the back. Far away from the pilots. That's not without a reason. Next up, Transavia Flight 6610. Arriving from Innsbruck, lovely city to fly into and out of, particularly in the wintertime. Not sure if the picture on Flight Radar was taken from Innsbruck as well. Could be. Papa Hotel, Hotel Bravo Kilo, 15 years old, first flight June 2010. It's 3 minutes to 11, from 11 until 11:40. Usually 2 runways for arrivals are going to be open. On a day like today, that second runway is the Aalsmeerbaan. Aalsmeerbaan or 36 right. You can see it has opened up because the second ETA of the morning is on the glide slope to it. Should be the first arrival there. ETA flight 120 arriving from Milan. Means that for the next 40 minutes everything arriving from the east is going to be landing on the wrong runway. After that, everything once again will come to this runway until approximately 1 o'clock. Next airplane arriving, KLM flight 636, arriving from Las Vegas. 9 hours and 30 minutes on the way. Brand new airplane, less than a year old. First flight May 2025. Hey, David Wolf, also back in the chat. Good to see ya. Hey, Gary as well in the chat. Gary in Amsterdam. Gary in Amsterdam or Gary in Noordwijk? Probably Noordwijk. Colder today and much more windy. Much more windy. I hope that the wind rumble isn't too severe. I've only brought the Dead Cat with me, assuming it was going to be less windy than it turned out to be. Should have opted for the blimp. Zikosor, thank you so much for your super chat. I'd come by and say hi, you want chicken nuggets. Well, then you don't know me that well. First of all, I'm a vegetarian. Second of all, I'm on a diet. Thank you so much for the offer though, but I'm good. Next up, KLM flight 1930, arriving from Geneva. 737-800, 1 hour and 7 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel Bravo X-Ray, November, 25 years old, first flight December 2000. Actually vacation, what? I thought you guys weren't allowed to take vacation? Huh? Oh wait, no. That's just Americans working in America. Here in Europe we do have vacations. That Chinese A330 is still standing there, although no, it's moving. Looking at the cockpit windows, they're moving a bit. So it's definitely rolling to the place where they are going to cross the runway. Question is, when is there going to be a gap big enough? Maybe after KLM 1068, the next arrival. Good morning, Basil. Good morning, Jurgen. Right. Patiently waiting. I think after this landing, there might be a gap big enough for the Chinese triple to cross. This is KLM flight 1068, arrival from Southampton, number 175. And yes, here we go again. the meantime, David Wolf is celebrating 5 months of membership, appreciating your hard work from Spain. Thank you so much, David Wolf, for your kind words. And also for the support as a member. I hope that everything in the lounge is still to your liking, mate. Doing the best I can. I hope it shows off. Always nice to have you in our chat, David Wolf. Hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. Enjoy Spain, mate, and thank you so much for your long-lasting support and for your vote of confidence. Right, it's narrow bodies o'clock for the time being. Yeah, that's 5 behind one another. Motorcycle somewhere on the highway over there. Chopper-like sound. Double-decker bus as well. With speedy stripes. This is KLM flight 1076 arriving from Bristol. Next after that we are going to get JetBlue arriving from Boston. After that EasyJet arriving from Gatwick. And after that KLM arriving from London City. Hey Veronique, goedemorgen, good to see you again. And welcome to the show everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. It's quite windy here at Schiphol Airport. The wind is blowing in the direction of the runway heading more or less. It's KVK, but it is definitely a bit more hazy up in the sky than it was yesterday. Particularly contrail remnants. There's also a halo around the sun visible right now. Contrails of course as well. Overhead traffic. Yeah, but there's a layer of haze between the airplanes flying overhead and us being here on the ground. On ground level, visibility is pretty good though. We've seen airplanes really far up ahead on the glide slope already in the vicinity of The Hague. You don't do that every day. For those of you joining us later, you may have missed two 747s landing here already. You might have missed the PHBVA Orange Pride as well. That also landed here. I think in the first 10 minutes of the show we already had our first 747 and the BVA down. The second Queen landed here around an hour ago, I think, by now. Around 10? Or was it 10:40? Another 747 is expected in an hour or so from now. And that was JetBlue just now, returning from Boston, Massachusetts to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Current glide slope, EasyJet on the right, A321neo arriving from Gatwick, and on the left, KLM flight 982, the third airplane of today's show that is returning from London City. There's also an airplane now turning in the background. That's going to be number 3, KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. Quite lovely to see. Hey Grover, goedemorgen. Mieke, goedemorgen. Menno, goedemorgen. We also saw the Emirates A380 leave for Dubai not too long ago. From behind, it took off via the center runway. Still quite well visible from here. Time for me to rehydrate a little. Small sip of vodka, bottoms up. Cheers, guys. Celebrating the upcoming weekend. KLM flight 982 on the right. Embraer 190 returning from London City. London, you might be wondering? Yes, London.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
And behind it, KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. A380-200. Looking at the cargo apron, it seems to be rather busy. Quite a few airplanes parked over there already. Got a couple over there. And then some more over here. Which one is that? ASL Airlines? Singapore, is that Emirates? Or something Chinese? Cathay, KLM. Right, next up, KLM flight 765. Arriving from Bonaire, A330-200. It's the PH-AOD. Didn't we see that leave for Curaçao or Bonaire yesterday? I think we did. 19-year-old airplane already. How floaty will the landing be? Very. Oh. Nah. The Delta pilots keep the nose up higher. Longer, I should say. Up high. High up longer. Up high longer. Jesus. My English is failing severely. Might be Qatarian, Shen Maxwell Gaming says. Is that so? Let's see. Could be. Hey Gineke. WH man. Good morning. Is it morning still? Yeah, it is still morning. It's 11:12. Means that we still have another 30 or so minutes of converging arrivals. Runway 36 right as secondary runway in use for arrivals together with runway 06, where we are standing right next to. I'm seeing Embraers everywhere. 2 Embraer 190s on the glide slope to 36 right, and Embraer 190 in sight. And from the right, we ought to see an Embraer 175 in a moment. There's a 737 turning in for center, becoming third arrival there. And our third airplane is an Embraer 175 arriving from Brussels by the looks of it. Still in the Rotterdam area. Looking up and around me, I don't see any contrails in the immediate vicinity. Hey, there's the Embraer 175, the number 2, turning in, arriving from Norwich. Embraer happy hour. Meanwhile, we can have a quick look on Flight Radar and see where the next 747 is at. Flying over Ireland, Atlas Air, just west of Dublin. ETA now 12:22. It was 12:05 earlier, so a bit more of a delay, but that's okay. It's arriving from the west, should still land here. It's an Embraer 190, and this one has a complex livery because the bottom says BA, the top says German Airways, and then there's also somewhere written, or no, not on this one. I was about to say there's also written that it's operating for KLM. That doesn't say so on this one, but it is still true. Hybrid livery. Half BA, half German Airways, actually half KLM as well in actual practice. Right, there's the Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich. The next one should be, well, don't think we can see it yet. That would be, well, on paper, I think we ought to be able to see airplanes in the vicinity of Leiden already. The Embraer 175 arriving from Brussels. Trying to find it. Particularly if they don't have their lights on already, it can be hard to see them. So this is KLM Flight 1056 arriving from Norwich, number 175, the flight time 34 minutes. The only thing that separates Norwich from the Netherlands is a body of water called the Gulf of Yorkshire. That's the only thing that this airplane has to cross. As the crow flies, it's not that far, Norwich. That's why the flight time is almost on par with Brussels and Düsseldorf. Norwich might be a tad further away than the other two, but these are probably the closest by international destinations that airplanes from the Netherlands from KLM fly to. Düsseldorf, Brussels and Norwich. Just a quick hop over the canal. Well, not the canal, but the Gulf of Yorkshire, and you're here. And there is a KLM that just now landed on 36 right. I think it's mostly coots in the water over here. No, that's a tufted duck, isn't it? I think that's a tufted duck. There were duckies over here as well. The ladies are sleeping in. Hey, what is up, Alan? Biggie Al also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. And Jess says, careful, say that too much and you'll summon Paul. Don't you want him in a chat? Come on, it's always nice when Paul's around, isn't it? Let's summon him. Gulf of Yorkshire, Gulf of Yorkshire, Gulf of Yorkshire. Poof. And then all of a sudden, he is there. Or is he? Hey, Avristeria, good to see you again. What do you guys have against Paul? Now Mali says, don't summon Paul. Uh-oh. Gulf of Yorkshire, Gulf of Yorkshire, Gulf of Yorkshire. Hey! There he is. He has been summoned. Awesome. The genie of Yorkshire has arrived to grant us 3 wishes. Oh man.
That's the way, I like it,
Fantastic. Good to see you, Paul. Happy Friday. For those of you joining us later, you may have missed 2 Boeing 747s landing here on the Kaagbaan already. The PHBVA Orange Pride also already touched down here in the beginning of the show, I think the first 10 minutes or so. We also saw the departure of Emirates Flight 146, which today also was again an A380 instead of a triple. Took off from center, we could see a slow rising A380 from behind. And another 747 is underway, now probably in the vicinity of Dublin, because we checked a couple of minutes ago and it was still a bit to the west then. Next 747 should be here in an hour or so from now. What an entrance indeed, Jeff. Absolutely. Somehow I've got the feeling that Paul was lurking in the lounge, in Lurker's Lounge. And he heard his name. Storm Eagle says that the A340 took off from 36 left. Don't see anything above the trees and whatnot yet. It's the A340 of course, or wait, no, that's not it, is it? No, that's not it. Was that long ago already, or is this? No, this is also not it. I'm probably too late then, aren't I? Oh man. Big picture overview. The sun is out, but it's hazy, cirrus clouds, and a lot of chemtrail remnants that keep lingering. The wind is blowing fiercely, more fiercely than I thought it would, so I should have brought the blimp with me. I also should have had a full battery for my Sennheiser receiver, wireless receiver, since that was empty for some reason. The voiceover audio now sounds a bit different probably, because I had to resort to using my backup option, the DJI mic that I used to use for a long time, just without using a lavalier mic. Instead, I have it attached, the transmitter attached to the chest. Audio should be back to what it normally, what you've grown used to tomorrow. It's 11:23, and that means another 20 or so. No, wait, 15. Just over 15 minutes of converging arrivals. This is KLM flight 1136, arriving from Dublin, Ireland, a 737-800, and somewhere behind it should be an A220 arriving from Paris. Oh yeah, there it is. That's Air France flight 1500, Bombardier C Series 300, or A220 as they're called these days. Embraer 175 arriving from Newcastle after that. Still heaps of narrow bodies that are on their way to Schiphol from all directions actually, so it's not like filming the traffic to 36 right will give us a few wide bodies that we can show, but it should pick up again. No Karen cabin on this 737. Karen will just have to sit in the main cabin with the rest. So there's quite a few cargo airplanes on the apron already. 4 over there, plus a cone. Another cone over there. They're still around. And then there's ASL Airlines. Not sure what type it is that's parked over there. It does look like it might be a narrow body. And then of course the triples from China and also from Qatar. It's interesting to see the course of Sun Express arriving from Izmir, because that seems to be downwind to Kaagbaan. And that begs the question, since it is arriving from the east, aren't they going to keep 36 right open much longer? I think the answer is no. It might be that the Embraer 190 arriving from Aalborg is the last airplane to 36 right, unless Sun Express will get vectors to the south and do a left-hand traffic pattern. Two airplanes on the glide slope. Air France flight 1500 on the right. That's a Bombardier C Series 300 arriving from Paris. And on the left, KLM flight 954 arriving from Newcastle. An Embraer 175. Yeah, and Sun Express does seem to be coming to the Kaagbaan. And to me, that is a sign that Aalsmeerbaan is going to close pretty soon already. If that's going to be the case, it means that the Kaagbaan will once again become the only runway for inbound traffic until approximately 1 o'clock, a bit early. It's 9:27. We've seen it before, opening up the runway, closing down the runway again, a couple of minutes earlier or later. Lucky break for us then. Martien, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching. Together they know a lot. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you want to help this channel get back in the algorithm again and grow a bit, liking, if you haven't done so already, is a way to do so. Air France. And that A220 is a looker, isn't it? Listen for the whistle. That's the geared turbofan whistle. A220s and E2 Embraers make those. Hey! And Chris Coot is also vying for attention. He's no longer sitting on the nest, but swimming next to it. The nest stomper not only stomps on others' nests, but also on their own. Probably as a measure to fortify it. There's Curtis Good doing cardio and swimming in the canal where there are less waves than in the main canal, or at least the main side canal that we are looking at. Artem says Condor, Green Island livery from southeast to northwest on the northeast. I think what you're alluding to is this airplane right here, already a bit further away. Yeah, that's Condor, alright. Already passed us by, unfortunately. KLM 954 arriving from Newcastle. Kiro Burner says, excellent, good spotting, thank you. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. If only now we could see Gary Grebe as well, but that mother ducker is probably below the waterline. Quite a few coots over here, more over there as well. 2 more, and I'm not sure, is that a third? Yep. So it's teeming with coots here and duckies as well. We did see a tufted duck. Oh, all right, the ducks are off for some they're practicing formation flying. Always follow the wingman. Evasive maneuvers. Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. And as I thought, the other runway has closed and everything once again is coming to the runway we're standing next to, the Kaagbaan. Runways are 6. Hey Gurdeep, good morning. Danny, goedemorgen. Bobster, good morning. And Charlie Brown, good morning. Charlie Brown tuning in from Orlando, Florida. We already saw Delta arriving from Orlando this morning. Hey Justin, goedemorgen. Mr. F, good morning. Welcome to the show, one and all. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at a windy Kaagbaan. Runways are 6. Only runway for arrivals until approximately 1 o'clock. And in 50 minutes from now, the third 747 of the show is expected to land here. 2 already landed. 1 in the first 10 minutes of the show together with the Orange Pride. Another one a bit later. We also saw the A380 taking off from center from this location, so we could see it from behind. Fat bastard. Climbing slowly, almost looking like its cousin, the A340 in that regard. Hey Ini Mini, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. If you think that the voiceover audio sounds a bit different today, it's because I had to resort to using my backup option, the DJI mic that I used to use before. But instead of using a lavalier mic in the transmitter, I have it directly attached to my lapel. Reason being, an unexpected low battery of my new Sennheiser set that I've been using lately. Without a receiver, a transmitter is useless. Tried to charge it here via USB-C, but that went so slow that it wouldn't be enough. Should be good again tomorrow. Another KLM trainer to 36 right. Where is it? Ah, got it. Let's have a look at it. KLM trainer. The diamond. Insofar as we can see it, because the buildings will be in the way at some point. Well, if it's going to land without the gear extended, it's going to be a it's going to make for interesting footage. Yeah, they're not going to land. Just a flyby. Just a flyby. And climbing out again. Hey, Sarah is also back. Good to see you, Sarah. Hope all is well. For those of you who joined later, you probably missed two 747s already. The A380 and the Orange Pride. The Orange Pride landed together with the first 747, I think in the first 10 minutes of the show. Not long thereafter, a second 747 landed. And the A380 took off earlier this morning via the center runway, which of course we can see from behind over here. David Wolf has to go. Time to enjoy the last couple of hours in Spain. Well, enjoy the sunshine and Spain while you still can, mate. And thank you so much for joining us today. E2 Embraer arriving from Stockholm. We haven't seen many E2s yet. Listen for the sound when it passes by the whistle. And it'll sound familiar because it will sound a lot like the A220s we've seen thus far. That's the geared turbofan engine whistle. What a spacious carrying cabin in the back, eh? That's for wide-bodied Karens who want to fly on a narrow-body KLM. Enjoy lunch, Axel. Is that Maurice Moorhan? Or where is it? That's not a moorhen, is it? What type of bird was that? Donald is over there. I think the other ducks are still sleeping. Just goes to show what I've speculated before for a long time already, namely that most ducks are actually night owls who love to sleep in. The coots, typical morning people, active in the morning already, doing cardio and whatnot, stomping on nests. The ducks, they like to sleep in. Different breed. EasyJet up next, arriving from Liverpool. That's an A319. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Gary in Amsterdam who super chatted generously. We went to see a streetcar named Desire last night in Amsterdam in Dutch. After about 3 hours, my brain was working overtime. Not sure everything fully translated, but still such a cool experience. Is that such a long movie? I've heard of Streetcar Named Desire. I know it's a movie. I don't know who starred in it. I don't think I've seen it before. But is it such a long movie then? 3 hours? Wow. It is good to practice your Dutch though. We'll examinate you next week, Gary. Mate, thank you so much for the super chat. You really didn't have to do that. You know that. A Streetcar Named Desire translated to Dutch. Was it subtitled? It probably was subtitled, wasn't it? Wow, over 2 hours with intermission. Ah, Marlon Brando, yeah, that does ring a bell. Well, he was also in The Godfather. That was also a long movie. I see a pattern. I am curious though, which theater played A Streetcar Named Desire, because it's an old movie. Usually the modern cinemas only show the latest and greatest. Hey Peter, also in the chat, good to see you mate. And good question by Karsten. Does somebody have an idea when the Thai Airways comes back to Schiphol? That's a really good question. I don't have the answer, but if anybody does know more, do chime in. The Papa Hotel Bravo Golf Bravo with a nice carrying cabin in the back. Arriving from Birmingham. Busy bees, busy bees. Here's the nest. Fortified by stomping. Just a way of making sure that it's more stable. Was surprised to see this morning that they don't only stomp on others' nests, but also on their own nests. Live Theatre, International Theatre Amsterdam. ITA! International Theatre Amsterdam. Where is that? Is that open air or is that indoor somewhere? And Rominjan is celebrating a green badge now for a year because 12 months of membership. Damn, a year goes by so fast. It does, doesn't it? I remember a year ago, I think we've had a bit better weather than this year thus far. Rominjan, mate, thank you so much for your long-lasting support. A year and counting. I hope that the year has been to your liking. If anything can be improved in the lounge, do let me know. And I'll get on it to see what I can do to make it better for you and the other members. Hope we'll see you coming back for a long time to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor, mate. Congratulations and thank you so much, Rominjan, for 12 months of membership. And another member has gone green. Let's plane across from the Apple store next to the American Hotel. Oh, that's the what used to be called the Stadschouwburg. I still know that as the Stadschouwburg. Yeah, of course. Now, now that you mention it, it does ring a bell. Yeah, the former Stadschouwburg. I remember when I was in middle school, we went on a school trip and we also were, I think it was for Greek, we were obligated to see a Greek play. They took us to Greek plays, theater plays, and in one of the halls we were seated and the ground was slanting, so everybody could see. And we were sitting in the back. And one of my mates had an empty aluminum can, and he put it on the ground and accidentally rolled it over. And in the midst of that play, that can started rolling, and you could hear it rolling slowly from the back to the front. It was so funny. I think that's the only time I've ever been there. In the meantime, another membership anniversary by Basil Price, who is celebrating 9 months of membership. Mate, thank you so much for your support as well. 9 months and counting. That's 3/4 of a year and 3/4 of your way to a green badge done. To you too, I say, hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If that's not the case, do let me know. Let me know what needs to be improved in your opinion, and I'll get on it to see if I can fix it. Once again, a big thank you to Basil for your continued support and congratulations on 9 months of membership. Wolfgang also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Artem says Lufthansa 747 from southeast to northwest. Yeah. Got a visual on it. Thanks, Artem. It should be... Is this the one? I think it is. It's the one. Quite clearly visible. It's the Lufty with old livery. The yellow logo still on the tail. Which, in my humble opinion, I think looks better than that bicolor blue and white. The later iteration. Meanwhile, an Embraer landing here. And Sarah is celebrating 28 months of membership. What? Over 2 years already? It has been smiley thumbs up. I'm happy to hear that, Sarah. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support. 2 years and 4 months already. If anything in the lounge can be improved, do let me know. I hope you know how to reach me. By all means, do reach out if something needs to be improved. Hope you'll stick around for many more months to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular here on the channel. Always a pleasure to have you in our chat, Sarah, and I hope that is likewise for you. And a new member has risen. It's Mara Naomi. It's so exciting that even my voice is getting hoarse. I need more vodka, but I'll do that right after this. Mara Naomi, congratulations on your membership. Thank you for choosing the Aurora Sky Lounge and for your vote of confidence. You now have access to our 34 custom emojis. Have fun with them. Use them all. Use them without any restrictions. The more inappropriately you can use them, the more fun they'll get. So make sure to do that. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Mara Naomi. If you need to know where stuff is, ask around. Many members have gone before you and will happily show you the way. In the meantime, this is KLM Asia with a 777-200 arriving from Asia. No, wait. Rio de Janeiro. That's not Asia, is it? That's Latin America, where you can also find a country called... Gerrit has to go. Thank you for joining and have a nice day, mate. Hopefully see you again soon. In the meantime, a cafe macchiato straight from the Alps, courtesy of Gilberto. Mate, thank you so much. Grazie mille. I'll happily drink a cup of coffee later on your behalf. Thank you so much, Gilberto. You really didn't have to use a super chat, but thank you so much. Good coffee. Always appreciate it. I have an Italian coffee machine at home, actually. L'Elite Mara X E61 espresso machine. Together with, what's it called? A Niche Zero coffee grinder with conical burrs. For now, only straight black coffee, no sugar, no milk products. The cafe macchiato will have to wait. Come to think of it, I'll have to drink a cafe doppio instead. The nest stompers are chilling, and unless I didn't see properly, but I'm pretty sure that one of the coots earlier this morning was standing on the nest and standing on one leg with the other pointing to the back as if it was doing ballet. Let me see if I can maybe take a good quality still of that and make a thumbnail out of that. That was really nice to see. Ballet by a coot. Who would have thought? All right, let's see. We have an Embraer 190 over here, arriving from Bremen, hometown of Klaas. Flight 1762. Next after this, we are going to get KLM flight 964, arriving from Teesside or Darlington. And Frank Kittner says, "Tjö, met u." And Wolfgang says, do you know that the 747-400 is the only wide-body with a max surface ceiling of over 45,000 feet in service today? I didn't know that. Well, hardly ever do you see any airplanes fly that high, unless they're bizjets. They often fly on higher altitudes than the bigger passenger commercial airplanes do. Does beg the question, what is the maximum ceiling for the 747-400? And Gary says that Thai Airways is scheduled to return to Amsterdam, the Netherlands in July. In the meantime, speaking of ballet, here is a glide slope shot in formation, with EasyJet arriving from London Luton being third, KLM flight 1352 arriving from Prague as number 2, and KLM flight 964 here in the foreground arriving from Teesside or Darlington. Oh, 45,100 feet. They did that on purpose, didn't they? Nice 3-airplane glide slope shot. It's all narrow bodies for the time being. And despite the haziness higher up in the sky, as you can see, here on the lower levels, visibility is excellent. The next wide body is now in the vicinity of The Hague. That's a 777-300 arriving from Sao Paulo, KLM flight 792. This is KLM flight 9... what was it? something, arriving from Teesside. Klaas has to go. Thank you so much for joining us today, Klaas. Hopefully see you again later in the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mini Moto Beta says, kijk achter je. All group of people, good day. And Zigosaur has also arrived on the scene. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm good.
Aren't you cold?
A little bit, yeah.
Standing here with just your hoodie on. Yeah, it's always I'm standing here with gloves on, and I even thought at a point I should get my heated gloves out of the bag because it is just too with the wind it's too cold. Yeah. Zigosaur has arrived, and also a group of people, among which is Minimoto Meba. That's the group over there. You want to say hi to the people at home, or? Zigosaur has also arrived in person to say hi with only a hoodie on. I'm getting flashbacks to when Ricardo was coming over to the Polderbaan a couple of weeks ago with his volunteer, and it was also freezing cold, and he was without gloves, without a scarf or anything. Can I give you? Do you need a hat or? Oh, okay. Just here for a short stopover. This is KLM flight 1352. Arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. German Airways operating for KLM. Now, the next airplane, you might want to look away if you are Luton intolerant. It's EasyJet flight 22513 arriving from London Luton. Here it is. Now, further behind it, and I'm wondering if we can see it already, there should be a 777 arriving from Sao Paulo, and I'm thinking, yeah, the building was in the way just a little bit there. We can see it already. Just becoming visible. That's in the vicinity of Leiden. The next wide body, KLM flight 792, arriving from Sao Paulo. I think Jackie has to go. Thank you for stopping by, Jackie. See you later, and hopefully see you again later in the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is EasyJet flight 22513 arriving from London Luton, an A320. It's nice that you have an avatar with your face on it, because then I recognize you from the live chat and the avatars.
Sometimes on your stream as I'm spotting also.
Oh really?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Account, yeah. I wanted to see your setup.
This is it. Yeah.
I like the solution right there.
Which one for the?
This here. That's very.
Oh yeah. That's the secret sauce for getting smooth footage.
And a good tripod.
Good tripod. I already had Sachtler, but this one is much more rigid and much more drag settings as well. So I already noticed with winds approaching 20 knots with my old camera and tripod, and I also use the guy wires in the ground. That's something I always do. But even then, with the old setup, it was still too flexible, and it would get very shaky. And I already noticed that when the winds are up to 20 knots, with this setup I don't have to use image stabilizer because everything is still relatively stable, and with 7 drag settings on both axes instead of 3, it's it's an expensive tripod, but it's a good one, absolutely. And this is the zoom remote for zooming in and zooming out. Here's the stream deck for the sound effects.
If you using one.
Yeah. So I've also got it on the laptop. So this is arriving from Sao Paulo not in, but in Latin America, where you can also find a country called. So, auditory feedback from the laptop. On the laptop you can see the stream running and the live chat going on. That's also where I can get the screen from. So this is KLM Flight 792, arriving from Sao Paulo, 777-300 10 hours and 39 minutes on the way. It's the Papa Hotel Bravo Victor India, 13 years old, first flight June 2012. Yeah, and then of course here the phone with split screen for flight radar and the live chat. Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra with a lot of nits, so that you can also see in broad daylight. Normally I would have brought a blimp with me. A blimp for the microphone. With the wind we were having today, you're probably hearing a lot of wind rumble because of the.
Not bad. When I was driving here, I was listening. It's not that
Okay, well, I usually have the blimp, the big unit, which I set on the ground. That's then you wouldn't have heard anything. And also I'm using my old DJI microphone now. Normally I would have had a Sennheiser wireless unit, but the receiver battery was empty for some reason. So even though I normally charge everything, and it was indicating the LED indicator was indicating that both batteries were full for both the transmitter and the receiver. Luckily I still have the DJI mic with me always. So
Are you running the camera on the battery too? Or?
no, everything is working on the power.
Nice.
The laptop as well.
I don't have much time because I'm actually doing my own live stream in a hotel.
Ah, okay.
But I heard on the stream that you're vegan, and I really wanted to bring you something.
Oh, that's so sweet.
There's a salad here.
A salad.
Because you're on a diet.
Because I'm on a diet. Thank you so much, mate.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
It was really nice to meet you. If you're ever in the vicinity and have more time, by all means do stop over. Always nice to have ground
I
crew
want to
with
be
me.
here on Sunday, but Saturday night I'm coming back. So
Okay, well next time if you have any time, hit me up beforehand if need be, and I can tell you where I might be going to.
If you need any help with filming, then
Terrific, Multiflow Media, your
Yeah,
partner
that's
in video content.
well,
Thank you so much, mate.
Yeah, nice to meet
All
you.
the best,
See you
and see you soon. See you in the live chat as well. Bye bye. A salad from Zigasaur. That is so sweet. He insisted on bringing me something. Let's see, Artem says blue condor from northwest to southeast in the north. Oh, that's probably gone already, isn't it? Looking up. Not seeing anything. It's probably gone already, isn't it? Bon appetit, diet proof. Molly says on paper it should be. The salad is usually diet proof. It's the condiments, it's the dressing that's usually not so much diet proof. Hey, that's KLM Flight 668, isn't it? On Flight Radar I was seeing something coming this way, and then I looked up and saw this. I think this is KLM Flight 668 arriving from Austin, Texas. That's going to be landing here pretty soon. Not before KLM Flight 984 arriving from London City. That's the 4th, 5th, or even more. Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from London City. In today's stream already. You can definitely see that on weekdays the route between Amsterdam and London City is a very busy one. Arjan asks if I will be there tomorrow as well, because he is contemplating coming by. The weather is good enough. I should be out tomorrow and on Sunday too, Arjan. In fact, I had a look and I haven't been able to stream 4 days in a row since November. Channel has been in a slump since. I'm really hoping that we can pick up some momentum again, because it's been horrendous. But I should be out again tomorrow. Not sure yet where I'm going to. Thinking maybe going back to the Polderbaan. Then again, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow would be the day that the A340 is arriving. So maybe coming here again to film the A340 if it's not very early in local time. Might be nice as well. In the meantime, and the Dolu jet arriving from Istanbul. And the 747 from Miami confirmed for the Kaagbaan. That's nice, Flores. Thank you so much for the feedback. For keeping us posted. Alright. Next up, KLM Flight 1004 arriving from London Heathrow. You might be wondering, London Heathrow? London? Are you sure? Yep. Absolutely. KLM Flight 1030 arriving from Manchester behind it. And the third flight is from Hans' favorite Vueling arriving from Barcelona. But first, KLM Flight 1004 arriving from London Heathrow. And that's the city.
You know.
London. That's strange. Let's try that again. London? Yes, London.
You know. Fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
For some reason I double clicked instead of clicking once. Either way. Pavlovian reaction in the live chat in reaction to the London sound effect. My fine motor skills seem to have eroded a little due to the cold weather. Maybe I should have gone for the heated gloves after all. Storm Eagle is not amused. He says, get new jokes. KLM Flight 1030 arriving from Manchester, a 737-900. If you hear it 20 times a week, it's not funny anymore. Sorry, Storm Eagle says. Well, You're not obligated to watch this channel. In fact, more and more people choose not to, so feel free to look at a different stream if you don't want to hear the jokes that we are having over here. Coast Guard out on 04, Wolfgang says. Has it already taken off? Because I'm not seeing it yet. I'm also not hearing the propeller actually. Wait, no, I do. Not seeing anything on flight radar and also not behind me. Han's favorite up next. Not sure if Han is still in the chat, but this one's for you, Han. An A320neo arriving from Barcelona, flight 8309. Right, a cross in the sky of contrails. Two airplanes going their own way. Let's see, the one coming this way does look like it is a twin jet. It's approaching my zenith. Not really a good moment to be zooming in on it, since it will vanish out of view pretty quickly. What is approaching our view relatively quickly is that 777 that we saw turning downwind above the coastline, above the hotels just now. This is KLM flight 668 arriving from Austin in Texas. 777-200 8 hours and 55 minutes on the way. It's the Pop Hotel Bravo Quebec Alpha, 22 years old, first flight September 2003. Wolfgang says that there is a beluga over Utrecht. Where's it flying to? What's its heading? Storm Eagle says, Gen Z for handling criticism, just go somewhere else. Am I Gen Z then? Not Jay-Z, Gen Z. I thought Gen Z were younger people. I'm turning 44 in a few months, so if that makes me Gen Z, then so be it. North to south. Beluga, north to south, so in the vicinity of Utrecht. Why am I not seeing anything in moving in that direction? What's the altitude of the Beluga? If it's a bit lower and not producing a contour, it's pretty hard to see, particularly since it is a bit hazy. It's trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'm looking up. Oh, to the south. So in Utrecht and already moving further away. That's out of sight and out of our scope for today then. Alistair asks if Amsterdam is a good place to visit for a family. What is there to do and see? Don't think that this is the right channel for questions like that, but Amsterdam is definitely a city for all people. When mom and the children go to a museum, daddy can go to the red light district, or to a bar, or to a coffee shop. Yeah, no, it's like every capital in on the globe. There's museums, there's markets, there's always stuff to do. Jording says you are exennial. What is 76 to 85? Is that another generation? I thought 82 was classed as Generation X still, or early millennial. You're right on the border, right? Millennial. Artem says Strato tanker southeast to northwest, on the northeast already. Let's see. Not seeing anything. The only control that I see northeast of me right now is over there. That's not a Strato tanker. That's the only control that I can see in my immediate vicinity. Wait, no, there's also something coming from the south. But that's also not a Strato tanker, I think. Or is it? That doesn't look like a Strato tanker either. I do see a quad coming this way from the direction where the sun is shining. Still far away. I think that's also not the Strato tanker. Hard to see stuff today. Then again, at Schiphol there's always a lot to see. This is lot flight 263 arriving from Warsaw. Lance says I reached my zenith a while ago. Imagine where Captain Jerry is then. At the risk of making a joke that you hear 20 times a week, didn't that pass by look polished? Vloeiend in twee werelden, Xennials are comfortable with modern technology but also retain pragmatic, critical look. Yeah, well, in that case, there's a name for everything, isn't there? Yeah. Well, that's definitely my age. I still grew up with cassettes, Walkmans, floppy disks, and indeed modem that you need to dial in for, with that typical sound. Right, it's time for a KLM Dreamliner. KLM Flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, 78710. 7 hours and 29 minutes on the way, the Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Delta. 6 years old, first flight November 2019. Tony T-Bone says, thanks a lot for the Polish joke. You're welcome, mate. Let's see, Atlas is flying what could be considered a base lag, and I'm wondering, am I able to see it yet? It's off the coast, so we need to look more to the right. As I'm trying to keep the Dreamliner in the shot, I am also looking to the right to see if maybe I am able to catch a glimpse of the Atlas 747. Not sure. We can see it from here. I think if I need to know where exactly to look, we ought to be able to see it, since it will probably be high enough to clear the buildings in the foreground. So I'm looking for a 747 somewhere in the background, because that's where I think that it is actually. We'll see it soon enough though. Wobbly wobbly. This is the Transavia A321neo arriving from Valencia. Hey, there it is already. Right, third 747 of the show, Atlas Air, arriving from Miami, Florida, flight 8209, now number 2 on the glide slope, being preceded by Transavia flight 6334, an A321neo arriving from Valencia. Atlas 747 already with gear out above Katwijk, says Sander, mate. No need to super chat that, mate. Thank you so much though for the notification. Here we see her as well with the gear out, now number 2. Transavia in the foreground, an A321neo. Number 190 behind the 747. This is Transavia with still the small font. And the Embraer 190 is now at the 8 o'clock of the 747. And a respectable distance. Now, I'm also seeing a Saudi A330 arriving from Jeddah on flight radar. Downwind. That's the new livery with all the colorful stripes and the white canvas. Nice to see. I can see it visually. It's right behind me. Should be landing here as well. It's 12:23. That means that the Kaagbaan is still going to be the only runway for inbound traffic for another 37 minutes or so. Indeed, that's the way I like it. Tiny titty Transavia. That's the way you should be using those custom emojis. Lead by example, Jeff. Excellent. Atlas Air 8209 7478 arriving from Miami, 7 hours and 35 minutes on the way. November 857 gin tonic, 14 years old, first flight November 2011. Mike D, good afternoon, perfect timing. The third queen of the show is about to land. Let's look and listen. Alright, a little bit of reverser. And if John just now returned, you were perfectly in time. Well timed. Third 747 of the show. And definitely ducks have been here, Mike D. They were sleeping in earlier this morning in the grass, most of them. Yeah. There's still a few over there. Well, and the lady ducks are also still over there. They haven't moved us an inch by the looks of it. They're still sleeping in. The ducks being typical night owls. Next to number 190 and a 737 and another 737 and another 737. Sander has to go. See you later, mate. See you again soon. Now, as we could have already seen before, it's rather busy at the cargo apron. Quite a few airplanes are already parked over there. So I'm wondering how close the 747 will be parked to us. Over there are already a couple of airplanes. It seems that over here there's a bit more space, but maybe it's just an illusion, because there is only a what seems to be narrow body from ASL over here, and then 2 triples. So curious to see where this 747 is going to taxi to park. Mark and Misha tuning in from Suriname. Welcome to the show, guys. Hope you guys are having fun. Hard to make out if it's moving or not. I think it is. Oh yeah. Look at the engine and the fence. There is still slight movement, so it's definitely coming this way. Now Jeff wonders if it has sugar in it. Probably. Most of the sugar these days comes in via the ports of Antwerp and Rotterdam. Easier to transport in bulk. Hadi Frank, tuning in from Sittard, where it is a bit hazy. Now that's also what they were forecasting for tomorrow morning, a bit of haziness. I hope it's not going to be too severe. And if it is hazy, that'll clear quickly. Right, we have our answer. I think this is where the Atlas is going to be parked then. So to what extent we can still go see her in a bit remains to be seen. It's hard to gauge. I think it's parked. It's going to be parked in front of the KLM, more this side, more this way. Chris is making a ruckus next to the nest. Lovely nest, reinforced by Chris himself, who stomped on it this morning. Will he do the same again? Yeah, stomp stomp, make sure that the foundation is solid. Still perfecting the nest. A house is never finished, is it? Transavia arriving from Barcelona. Transavia flight 5132, and there's a bizjet on final to either 36 right, or it's going to do a breakaway landing to runway 04. That's arrival from Geneva, ASL Private Services, Cessna Citation Mustang, and interestingly, Belgian registration. Yeah, well, let's have a look at it, and then make sure we're back in time for the Dreamliner from Saudia. There's the Cessna. The Cessna with Belgian registration. Oh. The question now is, will it land on 36 right, or is it going to do a breakaway landing to runway 04? I think it's going to do the latter. Foreground buildings causing some heat wave distortion. Yeah, the breakaway turn is initiated. Landing on 04. Uh-oh, Lisa is also in the chat. Good to see you, Lisa. Hey! KLM Cargo Queen pushed back. Oh, The Hague, pretty city behind the dunes. Indeed. Right. Saudia flight 933, arrival from Jeddah, A330-300, new livery. I like the look of it. It's so much better than that old beige. 5 hours, 55 minutes on the way. P2F, passenger to freight. An A330, 14 years old. First flight was in November 2011. KLM 747 over there. Hadi Martijn, good afternoon. And welcome to the show, mate. Oh. Take it easy, lads. Koets getting territorial again. Stranger says, I think the new livery is actually a retro livery reborn. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I agree. It's the stripe. The stripe makes it retro-y, doesn't it? I think that's why it looks so nice. Now, in the meantime, on the glide slope, it's all narrow bodies for the time being. EasyJet arriving from Belfast in Northern Ireland, E2 Embraer from KLM arriving from Basel, and a Transavia arriving from Porto in Portugal. KLM 747 is still in the process of starting up. You can see that the slats on the leading edge are now extended, so the flaps have been set. Are they doing the controls check still, or have they finished that? Nice combo shot there with the Saudia not Dreamliner. I'm so used to Saudia coming to Schiphol with Dreamliners. I'm not used to an A380, but there you go. The KLM cargo on the move. When will she cross the runway? I think maybe after the Transavia. That's now number 2. Looks like there's a little bit of a gap between it and the next KLM behind it. May look a bit pixelated because of the digital zoom, but and again, heatwave distortion makes it a vague picture to begin with. Howdy Hans, good to see ya. Yeah, the Queen is still waiting. I'm thinking after the Transavia she'll cross the runway. Condor on its way from southeast to northwest. It's probably this one. It's approaching my zenith. Best to have a look at it once the sun is in our back. I think this is the airplane after which the 747 is going to cross the runway. Transavia flight 6008 arriving from Porto in Portugal, A321neo, 2 hours and 13 minutes on the way. It's the Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Whiskey. First flight was in April 2024, so next month, already turning 2. Quick look at the contrail. That's the Condor, alright. And Queenie is still waiting. Or false start. What? Yeah, no, it's moving. Now, if I recall correctly, I saw in the chat that a C-17 is also following in the footsteps of the Condor that we saw just now. I think I can see the contrail of it already. Once it has passed us by, we should be able to see it with nice contrast. I think this is Air Baltic on the downwind. Where did I see it? Next to the lantern, there it is. That's Air Baltic arriving from Riga, Bombardier C-Series 300. Oh. Oh. Territorial Coot. Hey, be nice to Daisy. Be nice to Daisy. Is Daisy hurt? Why is her left leg? That's not good, is it? Looks like Daisy is injured. Right. That wasn't looking too good on Daisy's leg. Left leg seems to be injured. This is Aer Lingus, flight 604, arriving from Dublin in Ireland, an A320. Yes. And the KLM cargo lined up on center. Thanks, Artem. Let's have a look. KLM 747 taking off in the background over there. There it is. Next up, TAP Air Portugal, flight 668, arriving from Lisbon, an A320neo. Behind it, Air Baltic, the one arriving from Riga that we saw on the downwind before. And then Embraer 190 arriving from London City, behind it. Let's see, it's all narrow bodies for the time being. Turkish flight 1957 is approaching though. It's 1:45. It still looks to be on the downwind leg to the Kaagbaan. Right, let's see, 2 airplanes on the glide slope. A third one is turning in and should become visible from the left for us. Not sure if it's visible already, don't think it is. Transavia 737 just before Leiden. There it is, above the building. That's the third airplane, Transavia flight 7552, arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. In the middle, or less to the left, we still have a BA Embraer 190 arriving from London City. And here in the foreground we have Air Baltic arriving from Riga. Bombardier C Series 300. Turkish Airlines flight 1957 arriving from Istanbul is on the downwind, not too far away. Probably one of the last airplanes arriving from the east. Still assigned to the Kaagbaan. Right. So Daisy has climbed on the nest. I'm not sure if that's a smart thing to do, if that's the nest of the coots. Yeah, something is wrong with her leg. Luckily the coots are not in the vicinity to be seen. BA City Flyer arriving from London City, flight 8489. Well, everybody says call the animal ambulance. I'm doing a live stream. You guys know where I'm standing. Why don't you guys call the animal ambulance in the meantime? And we can have a look and keep a position on where the duck is currently at. This is Transavia flight 7552 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Jording says that the animal ambulance will not go out for this. Is that so? The Turkish A330 is now number 2, being preceded by Lufthansa flight 2304 arriving from Munich. That's an A320. And then Turkish Airlines with an A330 flight 1957. Registration of Lufthansa is Daiyui Delta Alpha India Uniform India. 11 years old, first flight September 2014. Carrying cabin in the back. And I am curious, who of you thinks that this livery looks better than the old one with where the logo was still yellow? Because I think that this is not an improvement, just like how the new Iceland Air, in my humble opinion, is not an improvement. Turkish flight 1957, here it is, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. Normally the flight time would be around 3 hours. And like with earlier flights arriving from Istanbul, today we saw that this flight time also is a bit ahead of schedule. 2 hours and 50 minutes underway. 10-year-old airplane. First flight was in November 2015. Air France with the Bombardier C series. Next after that, KLM with a 737 next after that. When's the next wide body after this one? Old one, yeah. It's funny, if you ask people, often they say that the older livery looks better for Lufthansa, for Iceland Air, Aer Lingus perhaps even. Makes you wonder why these carriers feel the need to change. Have a look at the Singapore Airlines logo and livery. I think it hasn't changed in decades. Flores says Hawker 800 BizJet inbound 436 right. Yeah, I see it visually. I'm not seeing it on flight radar, interestingly. There it is. Footage getting blurry has to do with the fact that the airplane is flying behind buildings in the foreground which emanate heat. Marked difference between when, like for instance now it's passing in front of a building. You can see it just by the way the footage gets distorted. Right, I think Chris Good has seen. There's no. Come on, behave. Come on. Yeah, Daisy's already trying to move. It's also a rotten location because you cannot reach here unless you go to the other side of the field and walk up from that side. Hey! Come on! Well, the thing is, there's really not much I can do from here. There aren't any stones to throw or anything. There's not really much I can do from here. I don't have any stones to throw to the to the duckies. To the coots. Hey. Come on. Well, I can walk up to the nest and then the coots will swim off. That's all I can do. There aren't any stones that I can throw or anything. It's hard to The coots are now over there. You can see one is already trying to swim back. And this is the grass field in the corner of Beach Avenue. Google Maps works. This is the beach avenue. The road continues like so. And over here there's a grass field. And it's right, well, this is old, but it's right here. They would need to stop at the corner of Beach Avenue, or they need to get into the field from Aalsmeerderweg. Here from Aalsmeerderweg, I think you can go into the field. The nest is on at the end of the field right here, right here. Alright, well, let's keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, there is a heavy hitter that has turned final for the Kaagbaan. That's KLM flight 751, which is arriving from Guayaquil. And that is actually in now number 2. Number 1 is Transavia flight 5932, arriving from GRX Golf Romeo X-ray. That's Granada. It's 102 and converging arrivals have begun. Voiceover got lost. Okay, well that's the DJI probably, having run out of juice. No, not the case. Or here. It's the DJI transmitter that has run out, so I'll need to change transmitter then. Not when the 777 is about to land, so we'll have to make do without the voiceover for the time being. Voiceover is now audible via the ambient microphone, so you can hear me from the back. This is KLM flight 751 arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. 10 hours and 56 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec, Foxtrot. 22 years old, first flight March 2004. Alright, thanks for the feedback, Mali. Back? That's odd. I didn't change anything, I didn't switch anything. Right, well, for the time being, the coots are swimming away. Not sure where the other one is, but Daisy, for the time being, is good over there. Right, let's have a look. Like I said before, I need to I've needed to resort to my old equipment, the DJI mic, because one of the Sennheiser batteries got drained. Yeah, but I am running low on both the transmitter and the receiver, so I will not be able to continue with this stream for much longer without the audio failing, definitely. If the batteries are full, the Sennheiser has much longer capacity, 7 hours at least, 12 hours for the receiver. Should have them again working in order tomorrow. Thank you so much once again, Mali. I already said hi, but I think that the voiceover was down at the time for reaching out to the animal ambulance. Russell and Cheryl Crow were here in the grass right behind me moments ago. The coots are now over there, both of them. That means that Daisy, for the time being, is safe. For how much more, for how much longer remains to be seen. Next up, KLM flight 1830 arriving from Stuttgart and number 190. Transavia arriving from Faro behind it. Let's see, Indigo arriving from Mumbai is headed for the wrong runway. We are still in avoidance of KLM flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru. It might be that the voiceover drops out again soon, because I saw that both the transmitter and the receiver of my DJI mic are running low. The transmitter I can replace, there's 2 in the set, but the receiver, there's only 1 off. And if I... Oh wait, no! I remember! I could charge the receiver on the fly. Without nasty sounds, what was it? Sort of an electrical sound. In the meantime, a BizJet initiating a breakaway turn to runway 04. Voiceover once again dead. Yeah, it does seem that the receiver, the transmitter has died. Let me fix this quickly, because I still have a second transmitter and I can also charge the receiver on the fly. To replace the ferry, since I'm using the transmitter directly. Right, that's 1 transmitter in working order again. And let me also charge the receiver simultaneously, or at least see if I can. There we go. That should have done the trick. If all is well, we should be having a working voiceover again. Loud and clear, right. So the transmitter is replaced and the receiver is now charging on the USB-C. Right, the Coots have not returned yet. They're still further upstream, and over here Daisy is still trying to get some rest. Meanwhile, we have traffic to the Kaagbaan. EasyJet is the next arrival here, an A320 arrival from Geneva. We have a KLM 737 behind it. That's right there. And that big unit that you see in the background turning in, that's KLM Flight 744, arrival from Lima in Peru. It does look like the Indigo is roughly going to be arriving around the same time as the triple will. You can also see that there's another BizJet on the glide flap of the 36 right, probably another breakaway landing to 04. EasyJet arriving from Geneva. Oh, the fact that this is now behind the building tells me it's going to land on 36 right instead of breaking away. Most likely. Or ooh, now it's hard to see. It was looking like it was initiating a turn at the last moment, but of course from now no longer for me visible. Hey, Awa, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Indigo on final to 36 right, and over there we have KLM Flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru. This is KLM Flight 1176 arriving from Stavanger. That's 737-800. Well, another membership anniversary by Joe Cremont, who is celebrating 22 months of membership, coming up for 2 years as a member. Time has flown, he writes. Joe, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Oh wow, have a look. Those coots. Once again bickering. What a bickering bunch they are. The four of them. I think that's something similar happened last time we were here as well. 4 of them bickering. Either way, Joe, thank you so much for your long-lasting support. That's almost 2 years indeed, 2 more months, and before you'll know it, you'll have a blue badge as well. I hope that everything in the lounge has been to your liking in the 22 months you've been a member. If that's not the case, do let me know what you think needs to be improved, and let me see what I can do to make things better. Congratulations, Joe, and thank you so much on 22 months of membership. And this is KLM Flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru, and that's a country in the vicinity right next to 777-300 11 hours 27 minutes the journey. Oh, good afternoon. Welcome back, mate. Now, I'm wondering, Looking on flight radar, all I see approaching is narrow bodies to both runways. Doesn't look like there will be a wide body landing anytime soon. It looks like this will have been the last one for the time being. Might be a good moment for me to wrap up and head out again to home. If all is well, tomorrow we should have a stream with the Sennheiser audio, the voiceover, and not the backup DJI mic. But thank God for the DJI mic, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to stream. We'll triple check that the batteries are actually going to be full tomorrow. Another queen ready to leave. I see that one of the Koots is returning, but not while I am still here. Move, bitch, get out of the way. That's right. That's right, keep moving. Anyway, I think it's time for me to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. No, 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 no. Hey! 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 Right. Time for me to wrap up. I will see you all again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you had fun. I certainly enjoyed the stream here, with the exception of the Koot and Daisy Duck situation. Looking to go out again tomorrow. Not sure where I'm going to go to. We'll see. Hope to see you then, of course. And for now, thank you so much. Thank you also everybody who supported in any way, shape or form. Thank you also to Ziegesorg for the salad. Lovely to meet in person as well. Thanks to everybody for all your support. Hopefully see you again tomorrow in good health. Lastly, a big thanks to the moderators for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay healthy, and see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. See you soon.